Sacramento County is home to over 310,000 residents, age 60 and above. That's about 20% of our population and rising. As our community grows older, it's essential to focus on aging well, living with vitality, purpose, and connection, staying active, engaged, and supported by a community that cares. Aging well isn't just about adding years to life, it's about adding life to those years. I recently spoke with Dr. Anna Chodos on the ways we can protect the brain health of the older adults we love. Check it out. We have Dr. Anna Chodos, Executive Director of Dementia Care Aware. Good to have you on the show, Dr. Chodos.
Thank you so much for having me, Desiree.
Yes, and I wanted to ask, with the aging boomer generation, the number of cases when it comes to Alzheimer's is alarming. It's growing. So can you talk about that and why it signals a need for widespread care right now?
Yes, thank you for pointing that out. And that's a big reason for things like having a World Alzheimer's Month to bring awareness. But we do know that the cases of Alzheimer's disease and related dementias, so we lump them together a little bit, will increase in the next 25 to 30 years to roughly double what we have now. So that signals a real urgency for all of us to know a little more about it, to know how we can prevent it or make the symptoms better if we have it, and also how to talk about it with our healthcare providers.
And Dr. Chodos, many of us worry when a loved one starts forgetting names or misplacing things. Their memory just doesn't seem like it's all there. So what are the key differences between normal forgetfulness and when it might be time to gently suggest a conversation with a doctor?
Yeah, it's such a great question. And it is one of these things that's difficult, especially when symptoms are mild, like what's not normal, what's normal. So we do know that the brain does lots and lots of things. And actually, we define dementia as a cognitive change that's significant, more than we'd expect for normal in any one of the different things the brain does. So sometimes it's language. Sometimes people are having trouble getting words out. Sometimes it's behavior. Their personality or behavior is changing really dramatically. Or memory is the one we all think about. That's kind of the poster child or the major symptom we all know about. And what I would say is we all sort of know we know our family or we know our friends. And if we're noticing something that's happening more often and is getting more severe, that's when it's really starting to signal that something real or serious might be going on and they should have a medical evaluation. So just to be humble about it, I forgot my keys the other day, or I left a coffee cup at work I meant to take with me. So when we're distracted or we have a lot going on, all of us can have what you might call a cognitive failure for a moment. But it's really about how often it's happening, if it's getting worse. So now I'm forgetting names of people I know really well or work with all the time. That wouldn't be considered as normal. And I think we could all sort of appreciate how that's different than the occasional lapse.
Yes, and early detection maybe sounds scary to some people, but maybe it's really about options. So what kinds of support and resources become available when families have answers sooner?
I think you framed it perfectly. So we really need to flip, I think, the narrative that a lot of us have in our head that if we did have dementia, there'd be nothing to do about it. It is so the opposite. It should be a really active condition that we're managing very actively. So we know that if we address certain factors, we slow down the progression of dementia, Alzheimer's type or other types. And why that's important is usually people, when they talk about their goal would be to have better cognitive or brain function and better day-to-day function for longer. So that's what you get if you detect it earlier. You have more time to sort of slow the progression of the condition. And what we can do is actually pretty simple and straightforward. This isn't really fancy medical stuff. It's things like reducing medications that actually make our brain foggier. So that's something to bring up with the doctor. More exercise and social and cognitive stimulation. So using our brain moves our body just as it does all the thinking. So that's why physical exercise and cognitive stimulation are both really good. Correcting hearing and vision have a huge, huge benefit. So really important that we screen and correct hearing loss if we're either at risk for dementia or if we have dementia. It helps slow things down. And then the last one is controlling things that we all know, sort of like the heart and the brain are connected. So heart health things are brain health things too. So controlling blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol are really important.
All very helpful tips. I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for more information. Dr. Anna Chodos, really appreciate your time. And to our viewers, a gentle, proactive screenings can help families face the future with courage. You can find out more by heading to dementiacareaware.org.